What's happening, YouTube? Back in the day, Gamer here. Thanks for tuning into my channel for this episode of What's Happening, YouTube. Today I've got an awesome topic that I've wanted to talk about many times on this channel, but I haven't because it's time sensitive and I'm not usually timely with my videos. So before we get into this topic today, backstory. It's the middle of the day. Angry baby just went down for a nap. Mrs. Back in the Day Gamer is at work, so we're cracking open a beer. Yes, sir. We're having this guy right here, a gift from a coworker who's been feeding me lots of yummy beers. This one is Shiner. I thought it was Shiner Bock, but no, Bock would be the beer. This is Shiner makes it called Trail Ale. Ale brewed with chocolate, nuts, dried fruit, and natural flavors added. I'm interested. Day drinking. Fucking A. It's good. It's good. I only taste chocolate. I'm only tasting chocolate. That's not a bad thing. They roped me in with the thumbnail, like hopefully I did to you. But, well, I guess they didn't rope me in. I didn't buy it. It was a gift. But, Lucas, thanks, buddy. I am definitely enjoying this one. Kicked back, relaxing in my chair, leaned way back, having a day beer. Wife's gone, kids napping. About to talk about one of my favorite subjects. Other than video games, but it pertains to video games. Today, April 19th, back in 1987, was the day The Simpsons debuted on Tracy Ullman. Now, sip a beer for The Simpsons. The Simpsons is my all-time favorite show. I've been watching it since day one, since back in the day. I'm very knowledgeable on my Simpsons. Trivia, games, all that jazz. I'm just going to start off by saying what you're all thinking. I don't care for new Simpsons very much. And to be honest, I don't watch it very often anymore. But for at least 15 years, probably 20. I'm not sure what season they're in now. I should have done some homework, but I looked on the calendar and saw this day popped up, and I always miss doing a Simpsons video, so I figured we're doing it. Nap time, day drinking, pile of games, camera, boom, we're doing it. So, I can remember, so it debuted in 89, 87, I'm not sure what year it started playing Sunday nights at 8 p.m. on Fox, but I was in let's just say I know I was in 6th grade, probably before that, but a lot of times I would go fishing with my uncle on Saturdays, Sundays. Sunday was the day it came out. Sundays. I'd go fishing with him on Sundays. We'd come back late-ish, but it'd always be like, we gotta make it back for Simpsons. We gotta make it back for Simpsons. And we often did, so I often watched it at my grandma's. But when I got a little older, we got into high school, every Sunday, go to my buddy John's, and we'd have a barbecue and we'd watch The Simpsons. Every Sunday. It was like people have, family dinner time. That was our family dinner. All the friends would go over to his place Sunday, we'd barbecue, watch The Simpsons. Simpsons. Fuck yeah. It's just not that good anymore. It's a fact. Unsubscribe, turn it off. Most of you are agreeing with me because it's really a fact. It's just not that good anymore. When I do watch it on occasion, it's still good. It makes me laugh, but it's not classic. It's not the same. Of course it's not. It's been running like 30 some years. So yeah. But what we're going to talk about today Simpsons video games. Yes, obviously, that's what we're going to talk about. I really like leaning back like this. Usually when I film, I'm hunched over. You know, I hope this looks okay. If not, fuck you, I'm day drinking. You bet your ass I'm following this beer with some shots. And maybe some more beers. And a nap. But before that, we're going to talk about these video games. So, the first Simpsons video game that comes to mind when you say Simpsons video games. And I've only got my 8-bit and 16-bit here. I've got Simpsons Road Rage. I think I've got the Bart skateboarding game that's on like PlayStation or Xbox. But those were later on. But back in the day, Bart vs. the Space Mutants was your Simpsons game. So, obviously you're saying, back in the day gamer, that game fucking sucks. Yes, it does suck, but it doesn't suck. It sucks because you don't know what to do, and this was an older video game, so they didn't describe it much, and there was no YouTube to look things up. But back in the day, everybody had this motherfucker. Just like everybody had a Nintendo, everybody had Mario Duck Hunt, everybody had Simpsons Bart vs. the Space Mutants, because everything was Simpsons. It was fucking Simpsons Mania. It was like Hulkamania, but with cartoons. Bart was everything. I'm really disappointed that I didn't have a Simpsons shirt to wear. Probably gonna remedy that after some more cocktails. Help curb that voice in my head saying, don't waste money on that. Don't. So Bart vs. the Space Mutants. Out of all the games I have that are Simpsons themed, this one is definitely not one of the better, but it's one of the ones I like the most. Obviously, nostalgia. I can remember also playing this at my grandma's, because I would take my Nintendo to my grandma's sometimes, because Nintendo was so all-consuming. If you were going somewhere that they didn't have one, you fucking took yours with you. Anyway, back to Bart vs. the Space Mutants. Now, you knew you had to paint things that were purple a different color, because it says that in the intro, but it wasn't really specific enough. You weren't really thinking, everything that's purple needs to be painted, but yes, it does. Some of the things are fucking cryptic, and that sucks. The gameplay is not particularly fun, and I'm fairly certain I never even made it through the first board back in the day. But a few months ago, I threw it in because I saw somebody doing a video, and I was like, Bart vs. Space Mutants. It's not as terrible as I remembered it. It has playability. Now you know what they're... you could look it up. I don't look things up, but you know what you have to do. There's one part where I think somebody shoots past the screen real fast, and you gotta get him. If you don't, you're fucked. But then towards the end of the first board, it's super hard. But I can slog my way through it fairly easy nowadays. Being a grown man, go figure. I can get through the first board on a game designed for children. But the second board, fucking the mall, horrible. Fairly positive. Never beat that game ever, and it's too bad because I want to play more. You know what? Fuck it. It's fucking Simpsons Day. I'm playing this tonight. It's not going to help this video because the video's got to come out before tonight so you can watch it on the Simpsons Day and take advantage. Now, with the Simpsons being one of my favorite shows of all time, I've got some stellar episodes I like. I prefer the first season over all the rest. Definitely nostalgia, but some of my favorite episodes are in it. The one where they buy the RV and go camping. It might be season 2, but when Homer catches General Sherman, fuck, that's good. I like the 138th episode, Spectacular. That's obviously not in the first or second season, but I thought it's just every time I see the number 138 on anything, I think, The Simpsons, 138th episode, Spectacular. Random as fuck, right? I could go on and on. Who's your favorite Simpsons character? I guess... I don't know that I have a favorite Simpsons character. We did, until recently, have a restaurant named Quimby's. Where'd that come from? Yeah, that's another side story. But yeah, we actually had a restaurant named Quimby's for quite some time. People would always call it Quimbleys, and that pissed me off. I'm like, yeah, you watch The Simpsons? Mayor Quimby? So, moving on from the rambling. Buzz hasn't even kicked in yet. Had a third of a beer. This is my favorite one on the Nintendo. Bart vs. the Space Mutants. Then we've got Krusty's Funhouse, which I absolutely despise those games, the lemming type games. They suck. Bart vs. the World is better than the previous two, but not my favorite. Second place on the Nintendo comes Bart vs. Radioactive Man. That's a more playable game, just to jump in and play. There's one board, a few boards in, where you're like in the sewer and it's kind of maze-like, and I don't think I've ever made it through that, but I've got decently far on that game. I like that one, but as good as it isn't, Bart vs. the Space Mutants is my favorite on the Nintendo. And fun fact, this cartridge here, aside from saying everyone had it back in the day, I actually don't think I did because everybody else had it, but if I did, I got rid of it. But this copy here was purchased in May 24th of 2012 for the sky-high price of $2.99. Yeah, $2.99. I wrote it down. It's $12.89 now. So in those 10 years, it's more than quadrupled in price. It's still only a $13 game, which is probably because it's so common and not very good, but there's a lot of other games that are common and worse that are more expensive. But I found it extra interesting that the manual cost $12.96. So the manual actually costs more than the game. I know that happens a lot, but that's bullshit. It's fucking manual. You can't play a manual. On the Super Nintendo, we've got Bart's Nightmare. That could have been a fantastic game. That could have been the best Simpsons game. But it's not. The Itchy and Scratchy game? I actually don't even know what the fuck this is. Taking some time to think about it, I believe I can recall playing this now, and it not being good. That's why I can't remember, but whenever I picked it up, I must have played it once and shelved it. In capturing some game footage for this video, I can verify that it is not that good of a game, hence not remembering it. We got Krusty's Super Funhouse. Sucks. Honestly, yeah, I probably played it for 5 minutes once. Virtual Bart. This also could have been very good, but it's not. I'm not sure how many are on the Genesis. I don't care. I only have the one, and it's Bart's Nightmare, which also sucks, but I have it because it's Simpsons. Yes. Now, the games I find the most enjoyable Simpsons theme that I have are the Game Boy, the handheld ones. The graphics are not spectacular by any means, not spectacular, but I super like them. Bart vs. the Juggernaut. I can't honestly recall playing that one, so it also must not be that great of a game. We got Bart and the Beanstalk. This is one of my favorites. Bart and the Beanstalk, love the cover art also, but it's, you know, the graphics are crappy, but it's a decent platformer. It plays better than Bart vs. the Space Mutants on the Nintendo, that's for sure. It's not the greatest game ever, but having no nostalgia for it and getting it a few years ago, I still enjoy playing it a lot. Not sure what about it is that I like so much. It's not a terrible game, but I like it. This one comes just below Bart and the Beanstalk, and that is Bart Simpson Escape from Camp Deadly. This one's very similar to Bart and the Beanstalk, only not quite as good. Neither of them are fantastic, bear that in mind. It's decent. It's not terrible. It's not as good as Bart and the Beanstalk, like I said. The graphics are super shitty, and there's some jumping parts that are terrible, but I don't know. I always found myself liking this one, and also not having it back in the day, having no nostalgia for it, that speaks volumes. Moving on to the final Simpsons game of the 8 and 16-bit era that I have in my collection, right here in this pile, is one that I also have no nostalgia for. Didn't even know it existed until, I don't know, I probably have this one for 5, 6, 7 years maybe. I play it around Halloween. My favorite of the Simpsons game is none other than The Simpsons Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror. Once again, this is not the greatest game in the world, and for some reason the handheld being my favorite, this one is in color. Not fantastic color, but color. And it also is a skosh better than the other two Game Boy games, which I liked. There's a lot more variety to this game. You play different characters and different boards. The cutscenes are funny. It controls fairly well. And I'm a fan of things that are Halloween themed. Always loved come October when The Simpsons put out their Treehouse of Horror episode. Even though I said I don't regularly watch new episodes of The Simpsons, I never miss a Treehouse of Horror. So that's all the games I've got to talk about for this episode of What's Happening YouTube Simpsons Edition. Wait, so they came out in 87, so we're 36 years in, and this was 87 was when they debuted on the Tracy Ullman show, so that doesn't mean they're in 36 seasons. I don't know, it's 30 something, I don't know, I should have done my homework. It's not about the facts, it's about memories, talking about nostalgia, shit from back in the day. And if you're near my age, The Simpsons played a big part in your life, because I mean, even my sisters had Simpson shit. They probably had Lisa shirts. I had Bart shirts. I had a Bart hat. All kinds of toys and shit like that. Man, The Simpsons. I'm glad it's still going. And I hope it gets better. But I almost want to say it should be done. It'd be cool if it just kept on going forever. I mean, it's a cartoon. But it might be time to hang up their hat. I don't know. I hesitate saying that. I mean, even if they come out with one more good episode, makes it worth it then, right? So The Simpsons. Get your fucking ass over to Netflix. It's gotta be on Netflix or shit. Disney bought it, right? We watch it on the Disney Channel because we have the Disney Channel because Angry Baby. We have to watch Moana several times a day. We've been watching Tangled a lot. And the other day the wife put on Frozen and he liked it. Thanks for tuning into my channel. I hope you liked this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Watch yourself some Simpsons while you're doing it. And until then, keep it retro.